The European Union (EU) boasts a gross domestic product (GDP) valued at just over $20 trillion US, making it the world's wealthiest economic bloc and the second largest economy globally. In recent times, the EU has transitioned from traditional diplomatic ties with Zambia to a more strategic economic alliance. During a courtesy call on President Hakainde Hichilema at State House, EU Commission Managing Director for Sub-Saharan Africa under the European External Action Service, Rita Laranjinha, called for a stronger framework to foster greater collaboration between the European private sector and Zambia's public and private sectors.
In this current financial framework, 2021-2027, we are providing 500 million euros in grants, and in the coming years, another 153 million euros are earmarked for new programs. We talked a lot about attracting private investments and about how to match the EU grants with the private sector investment, and about the conditions that need to be there for the European private investors to enhance their presence in a Zambian market.
Meanwhile, an advisor from the European Commission Directorate General for International Partnerships disclosed that the bloc has reached consensus on rehabilitating Zambia Railways infrastructure.
We have found also a common understanding, and the last week has given us the opportunity also to discuss with you how we can go forward and how we can phase the different aspects in relation to the Zambia Railways rehabilitation. I can only here and now confirm that the EU is fully committed in this process.
At the same meeting, President Hakainde Hichilema observed that evolving global geopolitical dynamics presents a timely opportunity for Zambia and the EU to strengthen their economic ties.
Because of these changes taking place, I think it's an opportunity for the EU bloc, for the individual members of the EU, to deepen what you and us do together. And I also want to acknowledge that, yes, the traditional ways of working together have been successful, but I like the alteration of those relationships. Maybe not to the stoppage of what we've been doing, but to add emphasis on economic cooperation, investments, trade.
The President said the establishment of the Presidential Delivery Unit (PDU) and the Public-Private Dialogue Forum (PPDF) are deliberate measures to fast-track project implementation.
One of our efforts to deal with rigidities, to deal with the slowness of the system. And this thing has been going on, the civil service has been structured this way for many, many years. And with 3.5 years plus in office, we know that this is not an event to change the way the civil service works. It's a process. And we would like to work together in how quickly we can come around. But from where I sit, the Presidential Delivery Unit is personally meant to help address those rigidities. Also, the Public-Private Dialogue Forum that we have brought in, we have seen the two working together, private sector, domestic, but also to be able to facilitate the investments we expect from your regional bloc, the EU and your individual member countries.
He also thanked the EU for its commitment to revamping Zambia Railways.
And thank you for your positive decision on Zambia Railways. And if I may look at Zambia's land-linked conversation we had last week, really, I mean, the Walvis Bay corridor passes through here, Beira corridor through here, Nakala corridor through here, Tazara corridor through here, Lobito corridor through here. So this is the country that cannot afford to have a Zambia Railways which is dysfunctional, because otherwise it will slow down all these movements as we get to do the ports area for our colleagues, the border areas.
Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Minister Mulambo Haimbe provided an overview of the evolving economic partnership between Zambia and the EU.
On the shift that would want to see towards a movement to partnership on equal basis, and a drive towards the private sector participating more effectively in the country. And of course, that would then mean that we'll have to create or enhance the environment in which the private sector can participate. So we did make a commitment on behalf of the government and the people of Zambia that we will put in place and continue to put in place measures to create that, or at least enhance that environment.